Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and today we have an upper intermediate level lesson all about money.
That's right. We are going to be talking about money, but most importantly, we need to start saving money. We need to spend less.
Exactly. So in order to control spending, today we're talking about budgeting. So let's take a look at this very important word in today's vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
All right. So as you mentioned, budgeting is, what is to budget?
To budget, that's the verb. So budgeting is deciding how to spend your money, okay? So that means that we prepare a plan for how to spend money.
All right, so that can be a noun and a verb. A budget is the plan on how you're going to spend money, and to budget is to execute this plan.
Exactly. So today we're budgeting a family's spending. We're trying to control how much this family will spend in the future.
All right, very good. So why don't we listen to this dialogue for the first time? Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Carnwell. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
So I understand that your family spending has skyrocketed and you want to start budgeting.
Yes, that's correct. Frankly speaking, our household income is relatively high and we have never had any money problems. But I think this is the main reason as to why our spending has gone out of control.
We have 2 kids, and with allowances, paying their credit cards, ours, and not to mention our mortgage and car payments, with the recent economic downturn, my husband's business has suffered, and now we need some advice as how we can prepare a family budget.
I see. Well, you have come to the right place. First, what we need to do is determine your cash flow. Knowing how much money is coming in will help us allocate spending to different categories such as mortgage, education, groceries, etc.
Yes, that makes sense.
Secondly, I need you to bring all of your receipts for the last 2 to 3 months. That way we can determine what your average expenditures are and see which category you're spending money on the most. Usually, your fixed costs are higher and we can't do much about that. But we can usually trim your variable costs, such as entertainment or clothing.
Great! We will do that then. Now how about we treat you to a nice dinner?
That's another thing. If you really want to stop spending so much money, throw away at least half of your credit cards. All right, we're back. So there were some interesting words and phrases in this dialogue related to budgeting and a lot of, financial terms here. So let's get started now on language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
This first term is very important because it tells us what kind of a budget we're talking about. We're not talking about a company here. We're talking about a family.
Right.
And so in this case, we use the phrase household. Okay, so what are we talking about? Household income.
All right. So income, we know, is the amount of money that comes in to maybe your wallet, right? My income, my personal income.
That's how much money you earn.
Okay. So a household income is how much money the house earns. So all the people that are living in this house, right?
That's right. So it could be a family. It could be 2 married people who are married to each other. So the idea is that it's not one person's income. It's the household income. Think of a house.
All right, so it's the combined income of everyone that's living there or that's making money that lives in this house.
Right, so if Marco and I have a household, I earn $10,000 and he earns $10,000. Our household income is $20,000.
Very good. All right. So then now we know that what our household income is. And in this case, we have children and we give our kids an allowance.
Okay, so I had an allowance when I was a kid. This is the amount of money I got from my parents every week. So I get, I think, $10 a week, and I could spend it on anything I wanted. And I didn't have to work because my parents gave the money to me. Okay. And so an allowance is this money. It's the money that mom and dad give to their children, maybe every month or maybe every week.
Now, it's not only related to children, right? Because maybe if you have a brother or maybe you're married and your wife is a housewife, maybe you give her an allowance, right? Or the opposite. Maybe you're a house husband and you get an allowance from your wife.
That's right. You can have an allowance if you're anyone. You can also have an allowance from your company if you go traveling. So if you have a business trip, your company gives you a food allowance. That's the amount of money you can spend on food. And you don't have to work for it. That's the best part.
Awesome. All right. So after these allowances, they were talking about, how the economic downturn has affected their income and their spending.
Okay, so down, you think this is a negative thing. You're right. Downturn means when a situation gets worse, okay, or slows down. And in this case, the economy is what got worse. And you remember this from last year. Things started to get very difficult for people who are in business. And this has affected families. And so we call the situation an economic downturn.
Now, the opposite would maybe an economic boom.
That's right. A boom is when things are going well. That means people are earning more money. There are more jobs.
All right, very good. And now moving on, as they were talking about budgeting, they mentioned this very important word, very technical, is to allocate money into different areas.
That's right, or allocate spending. This is a verb, to allocate. That means to decide where the money will go. Okay, so as the mother in a family, I will allocate 10% of the money to the children's allowances. That's a lot. 50% to the mortgage, 20% to the car.
Okay.
Car repairs.
So you're allocating your spending.
That's right. I'm deciding where to spend the money.
Okay. And well, talking about spending, we have this word expenditures.
Expenditures. And so this is a really important word if you're in business as well, because we consider expenditures when we're talking about how much a company earns. Expenditures are things that we spend money on. So remember that word expenditures, spend.
Okay, so an expenditure. And this is a noun, and usually it's in the plural, expenditures.
Exactly, expenditures. So we have many expenditures at my house. Among them, we have the car, the rent, healthcare, things like that.
Okay, perfect. So really good phrases there, really good vocabulary items. Why don't we move on now to Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
We've got some very fun phrases today, Marco, in Fluency Builder. This first one is a very common phrase that we hear in songs and movies.
To skyrocket. All right. What is skyrocket?
Well, you think about a rocket, that's a ship that goes to space. To skyrocket means to go up really high, really fast.
Okay.
The price of gas has skyrocketed. So I remember when I was a kid, gas used to be 98 cents a gallon.
Wow, really?
And in the 2000s, the price skyrocketed, and it ended up being like $4 a gallon.
Yeah, it was really expensive. All right, so this is also, you can talk about sales have skyrocketed, or the price of petroleum has skyrocketed.
So it could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on what you're talking about.
All right. And now moving on, they said that their spending was out of control.
Yeah, so this family doesn't seem to understand how to budget. They spend on everything. And so the accountant says that your spending is out of control. That means that you're spending too much. There's no order to the way that you're spending.
And we actually have a previous lesson called Out of Control Spending, that we also touched this topic of what we talk about out of control. Something is out of control. A person can be out of control.
Like a child. This child is out of control. He never stops screaming and hitting people.
All right. And our last phrase for today, the accountant says, well, you've come to the right place.
Okay, this is the accountant bragging. He's saying, well, I can fix your problems. I can help you. You've come to the right place. You can use this in many different ways. For example, I have a problem maybe with my TV, and I say, Marco, oh my gosh, my TV doesn't work. I don't know what to do. Can you help?
Right, and I can say, well, you've come to the right place. I can fix your TV.
Marco's an expert in electronics.
All right, so you've come to the right place. It's a very common phrase, especially as you say when somebody's trying to brag and say, well, I know how to fix your problems, or I know what you need.
I'm good at this. You've come to the right place. If you want to learn English, you've come to the right place.
Exactly.
Englishpod.com.
All right, so let's listen to our dialogue for the last time. Welcome, Mr. and Mrs. Carnwell. Please take a seat.
Thank you.
So I understand that your family spending has skyrocketed and you want to start budgeting.
Yes, that's correct. Frankly speaking, our household income is relatively high, and we have never had any money problems. But I think this is the main reason as to why our spending has gone out of control.
We have 2 kids, and with allowances, paying their credit cards, ours, and not to mention our mortgage and car payments, with the recent economic downturn, my husband's business has suffered, and now we need some advice as how we can prepare a family budget.
I see. Well, you have come to the right place. First, what we need to do is determine your cash flow. Knowing how much money is coming in will help us allocate spending to different categories such as mortgage, education, groceries, etc.
Yes, that makes sense.
Secondly, I need you to bring all of your receipts for the last 2 to 3 months. That way we can determine what your average expenditures are and see which category you're spending money on the most. Usually, your fixed costs are higher and we can't do much about that, but we can usually trim your variable costs such as entertainment or clothing.
Great! We will do that then. Now how about we treat you to a nice dinner?
That's another thing. If you really want to stop spending so much money, throw away at least half of your credit cards. All right, we're back. So now talking about allowances. You said you had an allowance when you were a kid. Did you really have a $10 a week allowance?
No, I think it was like 8. It started out at $6 or $5 a week, and then I think the most I got was like 10 or 11.
Oh, wow. So it was like almost about $1 a day.
About that, but usually the point was that, well, I started working when I was 15 because my parents thought it was important for children to learn how money works. But I was given that money because at the time, it was enough money to go out one night. So on Friday nights, if I wanted to go out with my friends, I could go out to watch a movie and get a slice of pizza, and $10 was enough. Okay. Now $10 doesn't even buy you a ticket to the movie, but at the time it was more than enough.
So this is important, I guess, because different families have different ways of upbringing their children, and in many cases, this doesn't happen, right? If I want to go out to the movies on a Saturday, then my parents will give me $30, and if I want to go out next weekend, they'll also give me money. So it's interesting to see the contrast, because obviously when I was a kid also I didn't really get this opportunity of going out all the time, and actually I had to work for it. So if I wanted to go out on the weekend, I would get an allowance, but also I would have to wash the car. That was typical with my dad. I had to wash the car.
Well, I think it's interesting because it shows that the parents want to teach their children about budgeting. Because if you only have $10, you really have to budget. You have to decide how you will allocate that money, even though it's not very much. So in some ways, it's good practice.
Yeah, it is. I think it's done us well. We're not in debt.
Not yet.
Hello. How are you today?
Hi, I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm excited because today we're talking about something very useful, preparing a budget.
Yes, budgeting is so important, but many people don't really know how to start. It's not just for businesses. Everyone needs a budget, even for personal life.
Exactly. A budget is like a simple plan for your money. It helps you decide how much you can spend and how much you should save. Without a budget, it's easy to spend too much without even noticing.
And these days, with prices going up everywhere, it's even more important to control your spending. A budget can really help you feel more safe and in control of your life.
That's right. When you prepare a budget, the first step is to know your income. You need to know exactly how much money you receive every month.
Yes, it could be your salary, or maybe money from a small business, or even help from family. All the money that comes into your life should be counted.
Then you look at your expenses. You can think about 2 types, fixed expenses and variable expenses. Fixed expenses are things like rent, car payments, or insurance. These don't change much each month.
And variable expenses are things like food, clothes, entertainment, or shopping. These can change a lot depending on what you buy.
A good idea is to collect all your receipts for 2 or 3 months. That way you can see clearly where your money is going. Sometimes we are surprised when we see how much we spend on coffee or snacks.
It's true. A few small expenses every day can become a big number at the end of the month. Writing everything down is a very powerful way to understand your habits.
And after you know your income and your expenses, you can start planning. You can decide how much money you need for basic needs, how much for savings, and how much for fun.
Saving should always be part of the budget. Even if you can save a little bit each month, it helps you feel ready for emergencies or for future plans like traveling, studying, or buying a car.
Some people think budgeting means no fun at all, but that's not true. It's not about cutting everything. It's about spending smartly, knowing what is important to you.
Yes, you can still enjoy life. But with a budget, you enjoy it without stress because you know you're not spending money you don't have.
Another helpful thing is to set goals. Maybe you want to save for a vacation. Maybe you want to buy a new laptop. When you have a goal, it becomes easier to say no to things you don't really need.
And it feels amazing when you finally reach your goal. You feel proud because you know you planned for it and made it happen step by step.
Also, it's important to be honest when you make your budget. Sometimes people don't write everything down because they don't want to see the truth. But if you are honest, your budget will really help you.
And it's okay to make mistakes. Maybe one month you spend too much. That's fine. The important thing is to look at it, learn from it, and try again.
Budgeting is a habit. The more you practice it, the better you become. Soon it will feel natural and you won't even have to think about it so much.
And remember, budgeting is not just about spending less. It's about spending better. It's about making sure your money is helping you live the life you want.
Another important part of preparing a budget is understanding the difference between needs and wants. Needs are things you must have to live, like food, housing, and basic clothing.
And wants are things you would like to have, but don't really need. Things like new clothes when you already have enough, eating out at restaurants, or buying a new phone when your old one still works.
Sometimes it's not easy to tell the difference. We see a sale or a new product and it feels like we need it. But with a good budget, you can stop and ask yourself, is this a need or a want?
Asking that question helps you stay in control. It doesn't mean you can never buy something fun. It just means you choose carefully when and how you spend your money.
Another thing that can help is setting spending limits. For example, you can decide that you will only spend a certain amount each month on things like entertainment or shopping.
Limits help you enjoy your money without going too far. It's like giving yourself permission to have fun, but with a plan. That way, you won't feel guilty after buying something.
And if you know you have a special event coming, like a birthday or a holiday, you can plan for it in your budget. You can save a little each month so when the time comes, you are ready.
Saving for special days makes them even more enjoyable. You can buy gifts or have a nice meal without worrying about money because you prepared for it.
Another smart tip is to create an emergency fund. Life is full of surprises. Your car might break down or you might have a medical bill. Having a small amount saved for emergencies can really help.
Even saving a little each month makes a difference over time. You don't need to save a big amount all at once. Small steps are powerful when you keep doing them.
And don't forget to review your budget often. Maybe your income changes or your needs change. A budget is not something you write once and forget. It's a living plan that grows with you.
Reviewing your budget every month or every few months keeps you on track. You can see what is working and what needs a small change. It helps you stay strong and motivated.
And it's okay if sometimes you need to adjust. Life changes and your budget can change too. Flexibility is part of smart money management.
The most important thing is to stay aware and stay positive. Budgeting is not about feeling bad. It's about making your money work for you, so you can enjoy your life with less stress.
Sometimes people feel afraid of making a budget because they think it will be too difficult or take too much time. But making a simple budget can actually be very easy.
Yes, you don't need anything fancy. A piece of paper and a pen are enough. You just write down your income at the top, then list all your expenses below it.
You can also use simple tools like a notebook or even a free app on your phone. Some apps make it easy by showing colorful charts and giving you reminders.
But even without technology, a simple list works very well. The important thing is to be honest and clear. Write every expense, even the small ones, like a coffee or a bus ticket.
When you see everything written down, you start to notice patterns. Maybe you spend more money on snacks than you thought. Maybe you are paying for something every month that you don't even use anymore.
And when you find these patterns, you have a chance to make changes. Maybe you can cancel something you don't need or find a cheaper way to do something you love.
Also, it's important to plan for fun. A good budget is not just about paying bills. It's about enjoying life too. You can create a small fun fund where you save money just for something you enjoy.
It could be going to the movies, buying a new book, or taking a small trip. Having money saved for fun makes life happier and keeps you motivated to stick to your budget.
Another idea is to use cash for some things. When you use only a card, it's easy to lose track. But if you take out cash for groceries or entertainment, you can see and feel the money you are spending.
Using cash makes spending more real. When the cash is gone, you know you have reached your limit. It's a simple trick to help you stay inside your budget without stress.
And when you succeed in following your budget for a month, you should celebrate a little. It's a big achievement. Even small progress is something to be proud of.
Building good habits takes time, and every month you stick to your plan, you're getting stronger. It shows that you are in control of your money, not the other way around.
Another smart thing to do when preparing a budget is to set small goals along the way. Big goals like saving for a house can feel far away, but small goals help you stay motivated every day.
That's a great idea. For example, you can set a goal to save a little extra each week or to spend less on takeout food for 1 month. When you reach these small goals, you feel proud and excited to keep going.
Also, it's helpful to talk about your budget with the people you live with. If you live with family or roommates, working together makes it easier to succeed. Everyone should know the plan.
Yes, communication is very important. Maybe you decide together how much to spend on food or activities. When everyone agrees, there are fewer surprises and fewer problems.
It's also good to remember that preparing a budget is not about being perfect. Some months will be easier than others. Sometimes things happen that you didn't expect.
And that's okay. The important thing is to stay calm and adjust your budget if needed. Life changes and your budget can change too. Flexibility helps you stay strong over time.
One more thing to keep in mind is to reward yourself when you reach a goal. It doesn't have to be expensive. Maybe you treat yourself to your favorite meal or enjoy a fun day out.
Celebrating your progress gives you positive energy. It reminds you that budgeting is not about missing out. It's about choosing what really matters to you.
And when you see your savings grow or your debts get smaller, you feel lighter. You feel free. Money is no longer something scary, it becomes something you control with confidence.
Learning to budget well is one of the best gifts you can give yourself. It gives you peace of mind, more freedom, and a stronger future.
When we think about preparing a budget, it's really about taking care of ourselves. It's about building a better life little by little with simple and smart choices.
Today, we talked about what a budget is, why it's important, and how to make it work for everyday life. We spoke about knowing your income, watching your expenses, planning for needs and wants, and setting small goals.
We also talked about the power of simple tools like writing things down, using cash, and staying honest with yourself. A budget doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to fit your life.
Budgeting is really about freedom. It gives you more control, more peace, and more chances to enjoy the things you truly love without stress.
Thank you so much for spending your time with us today. We are so happy to share these ideas with you, and we hope they help you feel stronger and more confident about your money.
If you like this podcast, please give it a thumbs up, leave us a comment, and share it with your friends and family. We would love to hear your stories and thoughts about budgeting too.
Thank you again for being here. Keep learning, keep growing, and remember that every small step you take today builds a better tomorrow.
Take care, stay positive, and goodbye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Rise rapidly, as in price. Skyrocket. Beyond the ability to direct the actions of something. Out of control. Plan the way to spend money in order to save more. Budget. Assign. Allocate. To be honest. To say it directly. Frankly speaking.
Let's try that faster.
Assign. Allocate. Beyond the ability to direct the actions of something. Out of control. To be honest. To say it directly. Frankly speaking. Plan the way to spend money in order to save more. Budget. Rise rapidly, as in price. Skyrocket.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Skyrocket. The ratings for this TV show have skyrocketed in the past month. Skyrocket. Her popularity skyrocketed after she won the competition. Skyrocket. The company's profits skyrocketed with their new advertising campaign. Out of control. I really need to learn how to budget because my spending is out of control. Out of control. Her anger was out of control when she learned that they had killed him. Out of control. His driving was out of control. Budget. My roommates and I really need to start budgeting the money we spend on food. Budget. Her family has started to budget the money they spend on shopping. Budget. He needs to start budgeting his time better. Allocate. The teacher allocated tasks to different students. Allocate. I need to allocate my study time between my different courses. Allocate. He allocated the prize money to different charities. Frankly speaking. Frankly speaking, you should break up with him. Frankly speaking. Frankly speaking, the government is just trying to get away with raising taxes again. Frankly speaking. To be frank, I don't think this is a good decision.